Welcome to another deep dive. Today we're going to be exploring a world where artificial intelligence is becoming like a major player on the global stage.
Yeah, it's fascinating. We're seeing
Yeah.
it shape how countries operate and how they interact with each other. It seems
hmm
like one of those topics that's just for political science experts, but really the implications of AI in geopolitics affect all of us.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's something that everyone should be kind of paying attention to.
Yeah, I've got a stack of reports and articles here and just my own notes, and I'm eager to hear your insights on what I found.
Absolutely. Well, we've moved past thinking of AI as just a tool, right? We're
Yeah.
seeing it become a force. It's shaping the future of international relations.
Yeah. So we're going to cover a lot of ground today. We're going to be talking about the U.S.-China AI rivalry and the potential impact of AI on global power dynamics and a lot more. But first things first, I think when we talk about AI and geopolitics, a lot of the discussion centers around these things called AI agents. So what exactly are they? And how are they different from, say, the AI that recommends songs on Spotify?
Yeah, you're right. The term AI agent gets thrown around a lot. And it can be kind of confusing. So think of it this way. An AI agent is like a highly specialized computer program. It can not only analyze data, but also take actions based on that analysis,
Okay.
right? So while your Spotify recommendations, they are based on AI,
Hmm.
it's an AI agent that actually builds that playlist for you based on your preferences.
Okay, so it's the difference between AI just giving you information and AI actually doing something with that information.
Exactly.
Okay.
And in this context, the context of geopolitics, these actions can have very, very significant consequences.
Right.
So we're seeing governments use AI agents to do things like predict and respond to cyber attacks,
Yeah.
analyze massive amounts of data to anticipate political unrest,
Wow.
or even model the potential outcomes of military strategies.
So these AI agents are kind of like digital diplomats and strategists.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
One example that I think really highlights the potential of AI agents in this realm is the use of AI in cybersecurity systems.
Uh-huh.
These systems are constantly monitoring network traffic for suspicious activity. They can automatically take steps to block attacks or isolate infected systems. So essentially, they're acting as the first line of defense in cyberspace
Wow.
and making decisions that could have huge, huge real-world implications.
That's pretty mind-blowing. It sounds like AI agents are already playing a really crucial role in keeping us safe from like cyber threats.
Absolutely. But it's not just about cybersecurity, right?
Right.
AI agents are being deployed in all sorts of geopolitical contexts. For
hmm
example, some governments are using AI agents to sift through mountains of data. Social media posts, news articles, economic indicators. They're trying to identify potential hotspots for conflict or political instability before they even erupt.
So it's like having a superpowered early warning system for like global trouble spots.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And the potential applications of AI agents in this area are only just beginning to be explored.
It sounds like this is already having a major impact on international relations, but one of my sources talks about the emergence of an AI arms race, particularly between the US and China. So is this just hype? Or are we really seeing like a new kind of Cold War brewing that's being fueled by AI?
It's not just hype.
Okay.
The competition between the US and China in the field of AI is incredibly intense. And it's not just about bragging rights either. Whoever controls the most advanced AI will have a significant advantage in pretty much every aspect of global power,
Yeah.
economic, military, even cultural.
So the stakes are incredibly high.
Incredibly high, yeah.
Yeah. What specific advantages are we talking about here? Like, does one country currently have an edge?
Well, the U.S. has historically been a leader in AI research and development,
Mm-hmm.
but China is catching up rapidly.
Okay.
They're investing massive resources in AI, they're attracting top talent, and they're developing their own unique approaches to AI technology.
From what I've read, China's AI strategy seems to be heavily focused on data collection and analysis. Is that right?
That's a key part of it, yeah. China has a huge population and a vast amount of data. This gives them a significant advantage in training AI systems.
Okay.
They're also less concerned about privacy issues, which allows them to collect and use data in ways that would be much more controversial in the West.
That raises some interesting questions about the different kind of ethical and political frameworks surrounding AI development in different parts of the world. But for now, I'm curious about the specific geopolitical advantages that a leader in AI development might gain. Like, what are we really talking about here?
Well, imagine an AI system that can accurately predict the outcome of trade negotiations
Okay.
or anticipate a rival country's military moves. That kind of intelligence would be invaluable in shaping foreign policy and making strategic
It's
decisions.
like having a crystal ball for geopolitics.
Yeah, pretty much.
That would definitely give a country a leg up.
A significant edge.
But what about the potential downsides? My research also mentions concerns about AI being used for less than noble purposes,
Right.
like spreading misinformation or even interfering in elections.
Yeah, you're right. Those are very serious concerns.
Yeah.
And we're already seeing examples of how AI can be used for nefarious purposes.
Yeah.
For example, AI-powered deepfakes,
Hmm.
incredibly realistic fake videos, are becoming increasingly sophisticated and difficult to detect.
Right.
These deepfakes can be used to spread propaganda, sow discord, and undermine trust in institutions.
And it's not just deep fakes, right? I read about how AI is being used to create highly targeted propaganda campaigns that are tailoring messages to specific individuals based on their online behavior and psychological profiles.
Exactly. And that kind of micro-targeting can be incredibly effective in influencing people's opinions and behaviors. It's like a new form of psychological warfare
Yeah.
made possible by the power of AI.
So while AI has the potential to make the world a safer and more prosperous place, it also carries some significant risks.
Yeah.
And it sounds like these risks aren't just theoretical, they're already playing out in the real world.
That's right. And as AI continues to evolve, these risks will only become more acute. We need to be thinking very carefully about how to mitigate these risks.
Mm.
But at the same time, how do we harness the potential benefits of AI for good?
So it sounds like we're entering a new era of geopolitics, one where AI is not just a tool, but a game changer. And the choices we make today about how we develop and use AI will have really profound consequences for the future of international relations.
Absolutely. The AI revolution is upon us, and it's up to us to make sure that it leads to a more peaceful, just, and prosperous world.
Well, that's a lot to ponder. We've only just begun to explore the implications of AI in geopolitics, and it's clear that this is a topic that deserves a much deeper dive.
For sure.
Welcome back to our deep dive into the world of AI and geopolitics. Before we jumped away, we were talking about this AI arms race that seems to be emerging between the US and China. And it's not just about who has like the coolest gadgets, right? It's about global power and influence.
Yeah, absolutely. The country that controls the most advanced AI is going to have a significant advantage when it comes to shaping the future of international relations and the global economy.
One of my sources mentions that the US recently unveiled a new plan, and this is specifically aimed at countering China's AI progress. So what can you tell us about this plan? Like, how seriously are they taking this challenge?
Well, they're taking it very, very seriously.
Okay.
The White House, their new plan focuses on several key areas. Increased investment in AI research and development, attracting and retaining top AI talent, and strengthening partnerships with allies to coordinate AI strategy.
It sounds like they're pulling out all the stops to stay ahead in this AI race, but from what I've read, China's also making significant strides when it comes to AI development, right? They have a huge population. This gives them a vast amount of data to work with, and they seem to be less constrained by privacy concerns than the US.
That's right. China has a very different approach to AI development, one that's more centralized and less concerned with individual privacy. This allows them to collect and use data on a massive scale, which is a huge advantage when it comes to training AI systems.
So it's not just a technological race, it's also kind of a philosophical one, right?
Yeah.
With different countries having different values and approaches to AI development.
Exactly. And that makes this competition even more complex and unpredictable.
One of the things that worries me is the potential for AI to exacerbate existing global inequalities. I'm thinking about the gap between rich and poor countries and how AI could widen that gap even further.
Yeah, that's a valid concern. Access to AI technology and expertise is not evenly distributed around the world. Wealthy countries are investing heavily in AI, while many developing countries are struggling to keep up. This could lead to a situation where the benefits of AI are concentrated in the hands of a few, while the rest of the world is left behind.
So AI could potentially create a new kind of digital divide, one that reinforces existing power imbalances.
That's a real possibility, and it's something we need to be thinking carefully about. How do we ensure that the benefits of AI are shared widely and that this technology doesn't exacerbate existing inequalities?
It's a tough question, but an important one. We've talked a lot about the US and China. What about the rest of the world? Are there other countries emerging as major players in the AI field?
Absolutely. The AI landscape is becoming increasingly multipolar. Countries like India, Japan, South Korea, and Israel are all making significant investments in AI research and development.
Wow.
These countries bring their own unique strengths and perspectives to the table, and they're challenging the dominance of the U.S. and China.
So the AI race is not just a two-horse race. It's a global competition with multiple players, each with their own ambitions and strategies.
Exactly, and that makes the future of AI even more unpredictable and exciting.
It sounds like we're living in a time of unprecedented technological change, and it's hard to predict what the long-term consequences of the AI revolution will be. But one thing that's clear is that AI is already having a profound impact on the world, and its influence is only going to grow in the years to come.
I agree. We're at a pivotal moment in history, and the choices we make about AI today will have far-reaching consequences for generations to come. We need to be thoughtful, deliberate, and proactive in shaping the future of this powerful technology.
One of the things I keep coming back to is the need for international cooperation on AI. With so many different actors involved, each with their own interests and agendas, how can we ensure that AI is developed and used responsibly on a global scale?
That's the million-dollar question. It's a huge challenge, but I believe it's one we can overcome. We're already seeing some encouraging signs of international cooperation on AI, such as the creation of the Global Partnership on Artificial Intelligence, or GPAI. This brings together countries from around the world to collaborate on AI policy and governance.
So there's hope that we can establish some international norms and standards for AI development and use.
There is,
Yeah.
but it's going to take a lot of effort and goodwill from all the stakeholders involved. We need to move beyond the zero-sum mentality of the AI arms race and embrace a more collaborative approach.
One area where international cooperation seems particularly crucial is in the regulation of autonomous weapon systems. These are weapons that can select and engage targets without human intervention.
Right.
And their development raises all sorts of ethical and legal questions.
Yeah.
What are the main concerns about autonomous weapon systems, and what steps are being taken to address those concerns?
One of the biggest concerns is the lack of human control and accountability. If an autonomous weapon system makes a mistake and harms civilians, who is responsible? The programmer, the manufacturer, the military commander who deployed it.
That's a really tricky question. It's hard to assign blame when a machine is making decisions on its own.
Exactly, and that's just one of many ethical and legal challenges posed by autonomous weapon systems. There are also concerns about the potential for these systems to be hacked or malfunction, leading to unintended consequences.
So it's not just about the technology itself, but about the broader implications of its use.
Precisely. We need to be thinking about the ethical, legal, and social consequences of AI before we deploy it in ways that could have irreversible consequences.
It sounds like we're entering uncharted territory and we need to proceed with caution and wisdom. But let's shift gears for a moment and talk about the potential benefits of AI in the global security context. I've read about how AI can be used to enhance peacekeeping operations, predict and prevent conflicts, and even promote nuclear nonproliferation.
That's right. AI has the potential to be a powerful tool for peace and security. For example, AI-powered systems can analyze vast amounts of data to identify patterns and trends that might indicate an increased risk of conflict. This information can then be used to deploy peacekeepers to hotspots, mediate disputes, or provide humanitarian assistance.
So AI can be a force multiplier for peacekeeping and conflict resolution efforts.
Exactly. And in the realm of nuclear nonproliferation, AI can be used to monitor compliance with treaties, detect illicit nuclear activity, and even help negotiate disarmament agreements.
It sounds like AI has the potential to play a positive role in making the world a safer place, but it also seems clear that we need to be very careful about how we develop and use this technology, ensuring that it's used ethically and for the benefit of all humankind.
Absolutely. The future of AI is not predetermined. It's up to us to shape the trajectory of this powerful technology and ensure that it leads to a more peaceful, just, and prosperous world.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground today, but there's still so much more to explore. We'll delve deeper into the challenges and opportunities of AI in the next part of our deep dive after a quick break. Welcome back to the deep dive. We've spent this whole episode talking about how AI is reshaping the global landscape, from the rise of AI agents to that intensifying US-China rivalry. It's clear that this technology has the potential to just transform everything we know about power and influence.
It really is a historic shift. It's not just incremental changes. AI is fundamentally altering how nations interact and compete on the world stage.
Yeah, before the break, we were talking about the need for international cooperation to make sure that AI is used responsibly. But let's face it, getting countries to agree on anything, especially when it comes to cutting edge tech, is a tough ask.
It's definitely a complex challenge.
Yeah.
Each nation has its own interests, its own approach to AI development, and frankly, its own level of trust or distrust in others.
But you mentioned some encouraging signs like organizations like GPS AI that are trying to establish global norms for AI.
Yeah.
Are those efforts going to be enough, or are we heading toward a future where AI is primarily a tool for national advantage, potentially exacerbating global tensions?
That's the key question. Right now, we're in a sort of in-between phase. On the one hand, we have this competitive drive, the AI arms race mentality, which pushes countries to prioritize their own advancements. But on the other hand, there's a growing recognition that AI's impact transcends borders. Issues like cybersecurity, autonomous weapons, the spread of misinformation, these can't be solved by any one nation alone.
So it's almost like we're collectively holding our breath, waiting to see which force will ultimately prevail, competition or cooperation.
Right. And the stakes couldn't be higher.
Yeah.
If AI is primarily used as a tool for national advantage, we risk making existing conflicts worse and even creating new ones. Imagine a world where AI-powered disinformation campaigns are constantly undermining trust between nations, or where autonomous weapon systems escalate conflicts beyond human control.
That's a pretty grim scenario, but it sounds like there's still a chance to steer AI in a more positive direction towards international collaboration and kind of shared benefits.
Absolutely. There are a number of things we can do. First, we need to strengthen existing international organizations like the UN. Equip them to deal with the unique challenges posed by AI. This means developing clear guidelines for AI development and use establishing mechanisms for resolving AI-related disputes and fostering dialogue between nations on shared AI goals.
So it's about creating a global framework for AI governance, much like we have for other areas of international concern like nuclear weapons or climate change.
Exactly. We also need to invest in AI education and literacy on a global scale. The more people understand this technology, its potential benefits and its risks, the more likely we are to make informed decisions about its development and use.
Yeah, that makes sense. An informed public is essential for any kind of responsible innovation, especially one as powerful as AI.
Exactly. Beyond that, we need to promote cross-border collaboration on AI research and development. By sharing knowledge, resources, and expertise, we can accelerate progress in AI while also ensuring that the benefits are more widely distributed.
So it's not just about governments and international organizations, it's about fostering a global culture of AI cooperation that includes researchers, businesses, and civil society.
Exactly. We need to create a global ecosystem for AI development that's both innovative and responsible, one that prioritizes human well-being and global security.
It's a tall order, but it sounds like it's possible. But let's zoom out even further. Beyond the immediate geopolitical implications, how is AI likely to reshape the world order in the long term? Are we talking about a fundamental shift in how we think about power and influence?
I think we are. AI has the potential to disrupt existing power structures in profound ways. For one thing, it could shift the balance of power away from traditional military might and more towards technological prowess. The countries that control the most advanced AI will have a significant advantage even if they don't have the largest armies.
Oh, so we could see a future where economic and technological strength trumps military might.
It's certainly a possibility. AI could also empower non-state actors such as corporations or even terrorist groups. Imagine a future where a tech giant has more influence than a nation-state, or where a terrorist organization uses AI to launch sophisticated cyber attacks or spread disinformation on an unprecedented scale.
That's both fascinating and terrifying to think about. It sounds like AI could completely upend the traditional hierarchy of power, creating a much more fluid and unpredictable global landscape.
Exactly, and that makes it all the more important that we start thinking about the long-term implications of AI now and working together to shape its development in a way that benefits all of humanity.
So while AI presents these incredible opportunities, it also comes with significant challenges and responsibilities. It sounds like we're at a crossroads, and the choices we make today will determine the course of history for generations to come.
That's a great way to put it. We're at a pivotal moment, and the future's not yet written. It's up to us to decide what kind of world we want to create with this powerful technology.
That's a powerful message to end on. I hope our listeners will take this deep dive as a starting point for their own exploration of AI and its implications for the world we live in. This is a conversation that's just beginning, and it's one that we all need to be a part of.
I couldn't agree more. The future of AI is in our hands, and it's up to us to shape it wisely and responsibly.
Thanks for joining us on the deep dive. Until next time, keep learning, keep questioning, and keep exploring the frontiers